Hi, it's me, Linda Burhan, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. This week we have a guest tip from my good friend.
My name is Lizette Clute, and I am from a company called Think Different Dementia, where I am working on challenging people to think different about dementia because I believe that it can be easier. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today is what is an effective caregiving program. And what I mean by that is there are different ways that you can receive help as a dementia caregiver. There are free ways, there are support groups, there is skilled therapy, there are all these different ways. You can endlessly Google search and get overwhelmed. You can read the 36-hour a day. All of these types of things give you information. But what is an effective dementia caregiving program actually entail? I get my research from the Alzheimer's Association Facts and Figures report related to what an effective dementia caregiving program actually needs to include. The first thing it needs to include, obviously, is education. Education about what dementia is, what dementia isn't, because there's a lot of information out there related to dementia and dementia caregiving that's not really reliable. So it needs to have reliable information or education. The second part of it is that it actually needs to be adjustable. It needs to adjust to the constant changes that a person living with dementia goes through. It cannot be static. So in other words, a book is static, right? You read it and you've got to figure out where that person is. A course can be very static. You can get a lot of good information from the course, but you're not getting interaction with someone who can help you adjust it. It needs to meet the needs of the caregiver as well as the person receiving care. So it needs to be able to adjust with the person who is changing, and it needs to be able to support the caregiver at the same time. We know that stress and burnout is real in dementia caregiving. And I know that that is something that most of my clients tell me they really struggle with, is managing their stress. And another component that an effective dementia care program includes is that it has a social or a psychosocial community around you so that you don't feel alone. So the three primary things is it needs to have education, it needs to be adjustable to the caregiver as the person is changing, it needs to be interactive, as well as it needs to have a community feel or a community component. So if you are somebody who is struggling with managing or coping with somebody living with dementia, I ask you to find a community that has those components, because that is what the research indicates is an effective dementia caregiving program.
Thanks so much. Tips are invaluable, especially when I have someone on my team to help me out. Tune in next week for another tip sponsored by Art and Quartz, where all they do is memory care, and have a delicious day.